guys, I've been playing a ton of OTK Demon Hunter this weekend. They announced that there's going to be nerfs, but we don't know what they're going to be nerfing. But we do think that there's a good... They did say a certain Murloc is going to be nerfed. So it's likely to be Crab Rider. So that's the best guess. So we think Paladin is going to get nerfed. And Demon Hunter is unlikely to get nerfed, so I've been playing a lot of OTK Demon Hunter. And I hadn't learned it. I put in a huge amount of time. I started at rank 25 and dropped all the way to rank 140. But then after about like hour 8, hour 9, the deck really started to click, and I started climbing again. Got back up to eventually to 20-30 range. And now I'm kind of just chilling in that range, winning a few, losing a few, staying around there. And this deck is... We joke about it, but it's the high skill cap deck in that it's very hard, and that it's not a deck I recommend for beginners. If you're someone looking to get legend, if you're looking someone who's not sure, this is not your deck. I kind of take the philosophy, the kind of people to play OTK Demon Hunter, they're not going to listen to stats. They're not going to listen. They're going to say, oh, this deck is bad. They're going to play it anyways because they love it. So if you're watching this and it looks like fun, but this deck is very much like a puzzle. You have all these different pieces, and you can figure out what pieces you don't need, what pieces you do need, and you have to solve the puzzle. So the gist of this deck, the fundamentals of this deck are as follows. 1, you kind of control the board. You go Skull, you get a bunch of cards discounted, and then you use Lilganoth, or Hilganoth. I like calling it Lilganoth. It's because it's kind of like a rapper name. It's fun. But you go Ilganoth, and then you can go a combination of Morgs and spell damage things, and then use one of your lifesteal spell cards. So if you look above, it should be right there. There's a chart, and I use this chart on the stream, and it is our spell damage plus Morg combo. So you can look, for example, all the numbers in red are above 30. So if you get 30 and they don't have armor, you can lethal them. The numbers below it are below 30. So sometimes, like let's say you're playing against a mage, you get them down to 24 life. You don't need the full combo because they can't heal. And as long as you don't activate their Ice Barrier, you can kill them with, so for example, you can do the 2 Morgs, 1 spell damage combo for 24 damage. So the deck, if you're always going for the 30 damage, you're often with this deck, we want to be getting our opponent's life down just a little bit to make our OTKs a little bit easier. But the gist of it is we discount cards, and then it'll be a combination of Lilganoth, Morgs, and spell damage with and then a spell damage spell or multiple spell damage spells. So there's 3 different factors. 1, how many Morgs we have, how many spell damage spells we have, and how many spell damage minions we have, and how many spells we have with lifesteal. And we also could have the Warblades as well, which could also be a factor. But we use that for a combination. So this chart is very helpful. For example, let's say I got my opponent down to 24 life. A really reliable combo would be to go Lilganoth for 4, double Morg, and then play an I-Beam that is outcasted. That would do 12, and then do a Fellscream Blast on your 3 guys, and do another 24. Bam. Don't need a discount or anything for that. Don't need anything fancy. You do need the I-Beam in the discount spot. So you don't necessarily need the discounts in this deck. But to get the fancy, the powerful, the fast plays, you do need the discount. So that's another big skill of this deck. So I think that one of the biggest skills of this deck, though, is, I don't know if you were the psychology term, functional fixedness. So functional fixedness, the classic is, you have a fork, and you think, a fork is for eating. But you also could use the fork to stab someone, to defend yourself or to attack somebody. You also could melt down the fork and use it for metals. So there's multiple use. You could also maybe use it for some sort of electricity thing. So there's more than one use for a fork, but our brain gets a fork, and that happens a lot in this deck. Some examples is Ethereal Augmentation. You might be thinking, this is for the spell damage for my OTK. it can be actually very useful to clear off minions. So one of the best keeps, surprisingly, against Paladin is Ethereal Augmentation, because you can use it to pick off an early Righteous Protector. So they go Righteous Protector, you go ping Hero Power Ethereal Augmentation, bam, and they can't get a Hand of Adal down. I actually have been doing decently against Paladin. Now the stats say you're about 18% to be Paladin. It's a horrible matchup, and it's still bad for me, but I can pull off wins because I know how to throw away combo pieces, knowing what to go for, how many I need. But yeah, so Ethereal Augmentation, philosophy. So other examples is double jump. It can be used to draw your Outcast card, but like you can also use it to proc for an Omayog or a counterspell. So if you think your opponent's a secret deck, you might save it for that. There's a lot of cards like that. Sometimes Morg can be just used a lot in certain matchups, very tempo matchups. I might keep Philosophy in the Outcast position and Morg and just tempo the Morg. Because by doing that, I might be able to control the board, and a turn 2, 3/5 can be just insane. So if a deck that is like Rush Warrior, for example, they don't have good ways to do. They don't have spell damage, so they can't actually punish the Morg element. So you can play that, and now they can't do a good Crab Rider play, or they can't do a Wormhole Challenger because it will kill it. He'll have to attack into your 3/5 and it will die. So stuff like that. Those are the fun fixes. But the gist of the deck, remember, is we mulligan hard, pretty much hard for Skull. When in doubt, mulligan hard for Skull. Then we we clear off everything on the left side of our hand. We try and get a Skull. If we don't have Skull, we kind of procrastinate. We try and wait to get Skull. And then we play Skull. We get discounts. We get Lilganath. And then we get one of these OTKs. We might do some damage to their face, and then we get the kill. So the games I got in this video are very straightforward. They're play Skull on 6, maybe play Skull on 5 or 7, but play Skull and then do an OTK. They're not very fancy, but I'm going to be making another video with way fancier. So one of the common questions you get is, do you just lose when Lilganath's on the left? And the answer is no. You could still win. There's lots of interesting plays you can do. So I'm going to be doing a video on that as well, where I kind of specifically show games that are a little bit weirder. But this one, I'm kind of just showing some the normal stuff. All right, so we're going to go over some mulligans. When in doubt, mulligan for Skull, keep Skull, throw everything else away. That's the short answer of the mulligan. Don't keep Ildari Studies, don't keep Sight, don't keep Wargate, don't keep anything. The advanced answer is we can be a little bit more precise. So certain matchups we can look for stuff. So let's just go over some of the common situations, some of the common classes that you often face in the Legend. So Paladin is interesting. Morg Artificer is actually one of the best things you can keep in the mulligan. And that's because, remember I said it's a really good tempo play. So often I will be playing Morg Artificer against a Paladin, and using it to fight for Borden. You can see here also Aug Merchant is really good against Paladin, and Spectral Sight can be good too, especially if we're using some of this stuff. So I think I would keep any of these cards in general, but also be thinking about your positioning. A Spectral Sight on the right probably wouldn't keep, but a Spectral Sight on the left I would probably always keep against a Paladin. But yeah, Skull, Morg Artificer, Marchman. You want to be looking to fight for board early and kind of contest, and then hopefully we're not massively behind. We don't want them getting, if they get the Blessing of Authority on, it's very difficult to deal with. We have to use a lot of our combo pieces, and sometimes it makes the OTK a lot more difficult. So against Druid, Skull is still the best, but Immolation Order is huge. So always, unless you didn't know, I've actually been playing a little bit more Celestial Druid on ladder, which is new. But before that, I was facing all Token Druid. So Immolation Order, very good in that matchup. And I wouldn't be really keeping any of these other things. I would keep Spectral Sight if it was in a good position. So maybe left card or second to left, but I wouldn't otherwise. And then I would just be hard mulliganing for skull otherwise. I wouldn't be keeping more this. But also, you know, there might be some interesting keeps. Like if I knew there, I might keep a philosophy in the leftmost position plus a Morgue Artificer. Some weird stuff like that I've done against Druid. So there are some cool plays you can do. Hunter, it's interesting. Blood Mage and Fellscream Blast and Morgue are good keeps. So why is this? Because we can use these we can use these to get a nice heal. I think a real nice play is, let's say they're getting ahead, maybe they play the 2-drop, the 5/4, and you can do Blood Mage and Fellscream, maybe clear some board, heal some life, and then maybe sometimes their 5/4 trades into your 1/1. So stuff like that. So I'm still not quite sure why the Blood Mage is that high, but I know it's really good with Fellscream Blast. It's really good with Immolation Aura. I think going on, let's see, on coin. Let's see if on coin or going first, if Immolation Aura is better. Okay, it looks like it's slightly better on coin, but it doesn't quite make the cut. But just getting this, having the Fellscream Blast, because Hunter's a very aggressive matchup, so being able to get a big heal play in can be very crucial. So these cards are probably the Blood Mage, this, and then potentially a Morgue Artificer. But Morgue is better going first, I believe, because it can be used as a tempo play. Mage, Skull. I'm surprised that I-Beam is rated so high. On this one, I would not be keeping I-Beam unless I already had Skull. So not quite trusting this, but that is pretty interesting there. And Priest, you can probably guess it's Skull. I'm still not completely sure on these Blood Mage Thalanos keeps. I probably wouldn't be keeping that, but I definitely would be keeping Skull and Spectral Sight, especially, and Ildari Studies, especially if I already had Skull. Rogue, then what do you think? Skull, that's pretty much the only keep. Ildari Studies, reasonable too. And I'm not going to go into much more. We have Warrior. It looks like Warblades is a decent keep as well, but you can see the gist of it. If you're not sure and you don't know the matchup, just throw away everything and keep Skull. And then if you have Skull, you can do this. So mulliganing, interestingly enough, there are some advanced mulligans, so be thinking about what you're doing, what you're playing against. But there are a lot of conditional cards. So things like keeping Philosophy on the left when you have Morgue in a tempo-based matchup, stuff like that. But in general, if you're not sure, just mulligan for Skull. That's the gist of the game. Don't be keeping other things. So that's the general of it. Yeah. Anyways, remember, so these are games with sort of simple stuff. We play a Skull, we discount some, we do some OTKs. Like I said, I'm going to have another video later where we have weirder games, sort of where we have Lilganoth on the left. We have things where we tempo stuff out. We do really weird plays. They're kind of non-standard. We get really crazy wins. So that's going to be a lot more fun, but I think this video is going to be a lot for if you're considering playing OTK DH and you want to just get a feel for what the deck looks like, what's the deck normally doing. And that's realistically the deck when played well is not a normal deck. I think this video is going to be real nice. So anyways, enjoy the games. And yeah, dude, live by the chart, die by the chart. That's what I've been saying for years. Wait, let me get the chart out on, wait, is there an exclamation point chart? There we go. Dude, live by the chart, die by the chart.
Time runs out on me.
Can you explain the chart? Yes. Those combinations of cards, that matrices, shows you how much potential damage you can do with different combinations of spell damage and morgue. So, it's a matrice. That's the short answer. Vicious Syndicate, I've been told. Wonder if I'm supposed to play, like... We could play around... No. This is why we do this turn. Is that, they're gonna clear, but then we clear back. And then, from there, we go skull, so... We've got one hell of a chart. Here's the matrice of possible outcomes of this date. See, here's the ones where it's a positive outcome. They got the enchanters there. It's unfortunate. Got the devolving. Unfortunate, but we're fine though. Oh, unlucky. That's a draw for us. Okay. We could just play this turn. I also could just play this, actually. That's the play. Like, I just get to some tempo. We go skull next turn. That seems actually like absolute play. Yeah, it just works real well. Ooh, we got a mini mage. Ooh, nicely placed. Nicely placed on the mini mage. I got us. Ooh, a change of plans.
Alas, poor warlock.
Alright. I want to put him down to 24 here. 24 is a crucial number that often means lethal or not. So now if they go like ring toss, I can always just, I never have to hit him in the face, you know? Like, so... Except he isn't a mage. What does that mean? Alright. Ooh, that needs to die. We can just Warblades it. It's a reasonable line. Oh, that was such a high roll hitting that. Oh my god, it's such a high roll. Holy crap. Alright, I'm trying to figure out what my line is here. Interesting choice from them. Alright, I think I need. This is awkward because see if we can hit an I-beam here. Nope. Oh, we did hit a philosophy. I don't need the additional. We have lethal for next turn. I think we have it this turn, right? Double morgue. Wait, this is 1 mana, right? Yeah. It's not quite lethal, so we're just gonna. Have this to save this to play around counterspell. So I'm saving this. I could use this to this, but I don't think we're getting lethal here. And this allows us to play around a counterspell. So that's why I'm now we have everything we need for lethal. None of that stuff is gonna work. Just so you know. It only works when we're using Nightbot with Song Request, which I haven't been lately. But I can just give you the. Wait, let me. This is the playlist. Okay.
My curse fire everything and everyone. Fire everything.
You're paying for my discretion.
Fire everything and everyone.
I'm so dead. Actually, I think I keep this I-beam to increase the chance we hit Skull. If that's the case, my mindset is I want to reduce the risk of me messing up. Yes, but I'm not going to give them to you.
You don't pick the ones, eh?
Why not? Because it's cruel. Ooh, this is bad. If you can figure it out on your own, if you're capable.
My blade seeks vengeance.
I'm just not going to talk about it anymore. It's happened many, many times. There's one I have specifically in mind. I'm not going to talk about it. If you can talk through the grapevine, like instances where pros miss lethals, you can do that. But I'm just not going to give them to you. So... Oh, that's an interesting play. Okay.
Alas, poor warlock.
All right. If we hit all we need here is Morg, I think, and we have it. Do not hit a Morg. Wait, we don't even have any of our fancy buff stuff here, to be honest.
I grow impatient.
You're paying for my discretion.
Alas, poor warlock. Time grows short.
Alright.
Vengeance.
They don't have lethal. How much damage do... Okay, let's think. How much, if I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 5 spell damage would be 18 damage. So if we hit an I-beam off the top, we'd have lethal here. What's the play here? Do I draw for 2 or draw for 1 here? It's tough.
Demons.
Morg, Fell Screen Blast. I should have done the math beforehand.
I see.
There we go. That should be lethal. I'm just gonna go for it here.
My curse burns with fate.
You're paying for my discretion.
I bet you can do this. I bet you can do this.
And everyone!
Alright, I'm gonna risk it here. I'm gonna risk the Lilganoth on the left. Whew, okay. We're okay, guys. Where these cool charts come, Fisher Syndicate. How many mage with that? I agree, Commander. Sounds like an excellent choice.
I see.
Don't be cricket on my boy, man. Dude, he's gone through some rough stuff. I should be nice. You know, Mancrick's has it real tough right now.
Vengeance is mine.
Hey, Lingo.
Always hungry for more.
Ooh. Yeah. Instead of the face. Dude, I am the chart.
It's feeding time.
I'm gonna freeze my face here. Am I screwed? I'm so screwed here. Or we have to go immolation or... Man, what I would give for a frickin' what's the guy? Alright, we're so dead here. Alright, next turn we go Skull. And we try to hit a Morgue, and then we try and get a big heal. Or like a 3-mana guy. So that's why we have to save coin here. So we can get that. They haven't even gone... Yeah, okay. Alright. Always be high rolling.
Poor warlock.
I guess that gets us there. Yeah, that gets us there. That's real good. We're technically alive. Oh, Morgue is 0. Oh, we could just lethal them next turn, but I think that's suicide, so... I think we take a big heal play and throw away one of the Morgues. Right? Yeah. I guess we could do this. This heals, I guess we don't have to throw away the Morgue. I'm always going coin here. So we could go this plus this, and that does 3. And then we full clear. We heal for 6. We take 6, and we heal for 4. Alright, I'm gonna risk it.
I bet you can do this.
Yeah, saving the Morgue makes it much more likely we hit a lethal in a few turns. Yeah, I think this is right. Like, we have Lilganoth, we have another Skull. We'd love to be lethaling him on turn 8 here. And this massively increases the chances.
An incredible discovery!
Here.
Alas, poor warlock.
Do we have lethal for next turn? I think I want to deny rigged fair game. Unless we have a guaranteed lethal. We have to play this one first. To guarantee the philosophy to hit this one, right? Yeah. Interesting.
I've been practicing.
Vengeance is mine.
So right now, let's consult the chart. The chart says 3 Morgues. 3 Morgues, I-beam, no spell damage, 24 damage, weapon hit, 26. We have lethal for next turn. We play this Morgue first, then we go philosophy. That's a pretty good situation to be in, and we can play around a counter. But we can play around.
My cargo, my business.
Okay. Trying to see if there's a. Yeah, we play this to play around counterspell, I think. Should work. Play this, play around counterspell. Morgue this, then second Morgue. That's 2 mana so far. And then we do this and then this for 0. And that should be a lethal.
A die in iron. For everything and everyone.
Guys, I'm getting better. Oof, no Luganoth. Alright. Oh, this is actually a great hand. Get a turn for,
Give me that. Look what I won.
Do I count? No, I have not. That's what we have the chart for. I don't know if you've seen the chart, Linz, but it's, I'm nothing without the chart.
Vengeance is mine.
You barely adopted the chart. I was born in it. I didn't learn how to do math in my head until I was already a man. I don't know what this is. What is math?
Reporting for duty.
Guys, I don't condone the message of this song.
Alas, poor warlock.
Do we have lethal next turn? I think we do. That's great. We do double morgue. Yeah, that's 36. Wow, turn 5 lethal, guys. Dude, this is our first turn 5 lethal. Oh, that's sick. That's going to be sick. You hate to see it if you're a Lambie series fan. Wow, turn 5 lethal, guys.
Reporting for duty.
It finally happened. You see how it played? Oh, that's great.
My curse.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Oh, it's fantastic.